Hello guys, today I'm going to be teaching how to solve this equation. I pulled this off my math review packet for school, and we have our exams coming up, so I'm studying. And I thought I'd share how to do this problem with you guys. So there's a couple of things we need to know before we start. So let me get this off the screen. The first thing we need to know is what is a logarithm. So we're going to work up to that problem right there. So logs are pretty simple. We know 2 to the third is equal to 8, right? And because that's equal to 2 times 2 times 2, right? That's what that equals, and that is equal to 4 times 2. Group these up, bring it here, move this there, and that's equal to 8, right? So that's pretty simple. That's just a basic exponent. However, once we get to more complex things, right, you start finding 2 to the x equals 8. Well, we know 2 to the third equals 8. So we're actually going to substitute this 2 to the third for this 8. So we're going to say 2 to the x equals 2 to the third. We're going to say, we're going to cancel out these 2's basically. There's exponent, same base, x equals 3, right? So that's pretty simple as well. That's not something we need a lot of work for. But if it was a more complex number, you could change it to a number that works for a substitute for x. So you say 2 to the x equals 8. This is where a logarithm comes in. You would say log of base 2 with an argument of 8 equals x, right? And that's how you find, that's how logarithms work, right? You're basically substituting x for this number right here. And this number has a value, and it's going to be equal to x, and this is actually going to be equal to 3, right? But for more complex numbers, that's how it'll work. And there are with a calculator you can find the values, and also some of them are pretty easy to find if you can just turn it into a form. But it's more just rearranging the number. And another thing we need to know is if we go back to our log base 2 to the 8, we know the change of base formula, right? So every log that's just log, let's say log to the 8, this actually has an invisible base 10 right there, right? So every log that doesn't have a base already in it, like it doesn't have a specified base, is going to be base 10, right? So we take our log, it's a little bigger, log of 8, right? Log 2, base 2 to the 8th. We actually change that to log base with log base 10s. So you can say log base 8, or sorry, log base 10 argument 8 over log base 10 argument of 2 is going to actually, that's going to be equal to this, right? Which is also equal to 3. So once you know that, it's actually not that crazy solving this problem, right? Because you take the original, so you have 1 over log base 2 to 36, and that seems a little scary, because that doesn't have a very clean number attached. Like log base 2 argument 8 is actually pretty easy because it just equals 3. Nice clean number. This doesn't actually have that. Neither does log base 3. And it's also kind of scary because these are different bases, if you note. It's actually fine. We can completely work with that. So we're going to change this into log base 36 over log 2. Sorry, not base 36, log argument 36 over log argument 2. And we're going to change this to log 36 argument log 3 over log 3, sorry. And once you take those, you can actually, so this is actually going to be 1 over that, right? So it's going to be 1 over this and 1 over this. That's what we have. And I'm going to erase this. But it does simplify because these are going to, because once you do the change of exponents, it's going to be the same thing as I'm going to just simplify, but I can go back. I'm going to go back to it in a sec. Log argument 2 over log 36 plus log 3 over 36, log 36. And if you think these are the same base, right? And the way we got there is if you can just take you can do 1 times, and then because if you divide by a fraction, you can do keep, change, flip. So you just flip the fraction, multiply it by 1, and it's just going to be the reciprocal, right? So it's going to end up looking like that. And then once you take these two, so these actually can turn in log 2 plus log 3 over log 36. And here's the thing about logs that's kind of neat. Um, if there's two arguments with the same base, sorry, two bases with the arguments, you can actually multiply those together to get a nice clean number. So log 2 plus log 36, or sorry, log 3, I apologize, that'd be kind of confusing if it was log 36, right? That's actually equal to log 6, right? So log 6 over log 36 is your answer. However, that's not simplified because we did do change of base formula. So we're going to have to change it back using the same thing we did. So this is going to become the argument, this is become the argument, this is become the base. This is going to be log base 36 from there, argument 6 from there. And that's going to be your final answer to the problem. And that actually simplifies out as well. Because we take log 36 to the 6, that's actually equal, well, that's going to be equal to x if you think about it, but that is the same thing as log 36 to the x equals 6, right? Because it's that logs are just a rearranging of numbers. That's how we got there earlier. And if you know properties of logs, you could say, if you actually want to make this really simple, you could make this 6 squared to the x, because once you multiply it together, once if you have an exponent to an exponent, it's just multiplication, right? Equals 6 to the 1, and then you can turn that into 2x equals 1 and x equals 1/2. So that's gonna be your final argument right there, or your final answer. So it's not that crazy of a question if you really break it down like that. It looks pretty scary, but just a little bit of change of bases, some basic log knowledge, and you get there pretty quickly. So more practice would be helpful if this is still kind of confusing. You can rewind the video. Um, I'm going to go over just a couple of the things that I did that I kind of skipped past during it. It was a little confusing. Sorry about that. So exponent to an exponent, I took 6 squared. So change that. 6 squared to the x, and that's just going to be multiplied together, right? So that's going to be 2x. That 6 to the 2x. That's how I got there. And then earlier I took the bases, right? So I'm just gonna take one of them, for example. We're just gonna do the log 36 times log 2. So you had 1 divided by, and I'm just splitting up the fraction, right? Because fractions are just like that. 36 over log 2. What we're gonna do, keep change flips. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna change this there. And we're gonna flip this. So it's actually gonna be log 2 over log 36. I'm sorry that the drawings aren't great, but I'm trying my best. And you're just going to get this number right here because 1 times any number is itself, right? So, yeah, that's the not only the solved problem, but also all the steps, and then some of the steps right at the end if you didn't understand it and I took a logical leap. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time.